There's no way I could let this anniversary slip by without making a video to mark the occasion. I'm Adrian, the Cruise and Travel Guy. I produce cruise-related videos every week right here on YouTube, so if you enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. As you probably know, I started this channel just before the pandemic struck, but for the majority of its early existence, we were all living in some kind of social lockdown and definitely living through a cruise ban. Cruising returned only 1 year ago, and I was on board the first commercial cruise to sail from Australia in more than 2 years, when P&O's flagship Pacific Explorer set sail from Sydney on May 31st. 11 cruises and 50 nights at sea later, I honestly could not have possibly imagined just how incredible the last 12 months were going to be. This video though is about you as much as it is about my channel and my progress over the past year. What I have come to value and appreciate more than even cruising is you, my audience. When we didn't have cruising, I had you to complain to, talk to, echo my thoughts about, things like the cruise ban that never seemed like it would end. And I just want to say a genuine heartfelt thank you because I truly value what we have built here on YouTube and across on Facebook. But it wouldn't be a year in review without chatting about a few of the cruises I've done over the past 12 months and what's coming next. For me, May 31st, 2022 was completely surreal. I still get goosebumps when I think about the celebrations on the top deck. You could truly feel the energy as Pacific Explorer set sail, cruising underneath the Sydney Harbour Bridge on that cold but perfect night. On top of that, I had the honour of meeting some of you, which was both brilliant and almost overwhelming. Emerging from my living room and joining the land of the living was definitely exciting, but being recognised on board was something that I hadn't exactly planned for. I've gotten a lot more used to it now, and I always encourage people to say hello if you do see me, but I will really treasure those first moments. As the year progressed, I was super excited to board the Pacific Adventure for its maiden cruise, and as you know, if you've watched my maiden cruise review, it was far from perfect. After everything we had been through, criticizing a cruise line just felt wrong in some ways, and I really did struggle with putting that review together. I didn't want to seem ungrateful for the ability to cruise, especially after what we had just lived through, but by the same token, I knew that you and others were waiting to hear about the experience. I felt it necessary to share the truth, of course, but I hoped that I was able to do so in a fair and constructive way, and that's something that I'm continuing to work on. In November, I had the honour of boarding Ovation of the Seas for the first time ever. To this day, she's the largest cruise ship I've sailed on, and that cruise also marked my first experience sailing on a charter. The Rock the Boat and cruising country music festivals at sea were just brilliant. The 7-night cruise was also my first opportunity to head overseas since before the pandemic, as our cruise stopped at Noumea. I also had the chance to meet some amazing people, a few of you who will be joining me on my inaugural group cruise onboard Resilient Lady later this year. After Ovation, it was time for a touch of luxury with a cruise that I had booked during the depths of the COVID lockdowns. Thanks in part to lockdown blues, we booked a royal suite on board Celebrity Eclipse. It was my first cruise with Celebrity, and we spent 11 amazing nights sailing to the South Pacific and experiencing the luxury and refinement of the retreat. I kicked off this year's cruising with a short weekender on Ovation of the Seas that included my sister-in-law and one of my best friends, both of whom had never cruised before and both of whom came away loving it. More cruising converts. I also experienced my first ever Carnival cruise, sampling the Luminosa on a short voyage from Brisbane. And then I crashed a cruise that my parents had booked a year earlier. I decided to book that cruise only a few weeks before departure, and that one ended up being my first real opportunity to test out Princess's medallion technology on board the beautiful Majestic Princess. I then decided to jump back on board Pacific Adventure to see if things had improved since my maiden cruise, and I was happy to report that on the whole they had. About a month ago, I reached 10,000 subscribers right here on YouTube, which still blows my mind, and just last weekend I was invited to speak at the inaugural Travel Trends Summit on the Gold Coast. I had the best time connecting with people in the industry while sharing my passion for content creation and of course the cruise industry. While I was there, I was asked continuously about what was next on my list of cruises, and I can finally reveal that it's something pretty different. I have booked my first ever expedition cruise and I'll be sailing to Australia's iconic Kimberley region. This will truly be a trip of firsts. I'll be sailing on board Silversea's Silver Explorer, a 6,072-ton expedition vessel with only 72 passenger cabins. I'll tell you a lot more about it very soon, but I'm so excited to try something completely different for me and something completely different in the cruise industry and share that experience with you. Then, of course, later this year in December, I'll be boarding Resilient Lady on her maiden voyage from Melbourne, and many of you will be joining me on that cruise. It is my inaugural group cruise. There are still places left, so if you would like to join around 60 of us that are going, you are more than welcome to click the link in the description below to learn more about that. Reliving this past year of experiences and achievements has been a lot of fun for me, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, thank you so much, because without you, I would have achieved none of this. And I'm so excited to continue this journey with you and to keep showing you why cruising is the best way to travel. Let me know in the comments, what do your next 12 months look like? Do you have some more cruises planned? Where are you off to? And if you don't have anything planned, where do you want to go? Let me know. As always, thank you so much for watching the video. If you would like to book a cruise, you can head to my website, thecruiseandtravelguide.com.au, and you can also give me a follow on Facebook and Instagram at The Cruise and Travel Guy. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon. This video, though, is about you as much as it is about my channel and my After everything we had been through, and I continue to try to do that with all of my travels that I'm undertaking now. After Ovation, it was time for a touch of luxury, which, whoops.